personnel on the field to the coaching staff, you know, it's been a complete overhaul. I think there's only about, you know, maybe 4 or 5 guys from last year's team, and, you know, those guys have been great. They've kind of experienced the downfall last year, and everyone from the front office all the way down to, you know, the trainers have just made a commitment to winning. And, you know, with the personnel we have in the front office, ownership, and on the field, I mean, we just have a good mix of players and personnel to get the job done. So.
Last year, you're the Defender of the Year for Connecticut in the D3 League. This year, as we look at tape of your play for Virginia Beach, tell us a little bit about the adjustment you've had to make.
It's been a little bit of an adjustment. I played 3 years in the A-League in Long Island prior to going to Connecticut. You know, but Connecticut was a unique situation because it was in the A-League for so long, and it still had Coach Dan Gaspar up there, who was a great coach. And, you know, I like to refer to it as more of an A-League situation than a D3. And with the teams such as Long Island and Western Mass in our division, you know, it was a great competition. And I think we could have competed, you know, with some of the teams in the A-League last year. The only real difference is, you know, maybe obviously some of the training sessions, you know, you can only afford to pay players, you know, 3 or 4 times a week instead of having a full-time commitment from everybody. So I think that's really the difference between the D3 and the A-League as far as I saw last year.
Virginia Beach, certainly a new franchise, has given you an opportunity to get involved in youth work in the community.
Yes, I've actually been coaching for years, and actually had a you know, a stint as an assistant college coach last year at Western New England under Aaron Sullivan, who's you know, played with at Williams College, and you know, he's a mentor to me, and he's really kind of pushed me in the direction to coach. And I think when my playing days are over, I'm going to make that transition slowly but surely into the coaching game. And if I can get into a college assistant job down the line, hopefully a head coach somewhere, would be great. You know, that's pretty much what I'm aiming for right now.
As much as we talk about offense, it's been the defense that has really stabilized this year with Dan Buskey and Richard Mahoney in the heart of that Virginia Mariner defensive crew.
Again, a good point there because, of course, Virginia Beach Mariners with 3 straight shutouts in A-League play. Not a shutout tonight, though. Again, Virginia Beach on top of the Richmond Kickers 2-1. We'll continue with more action from Virginia Beach. We haven't gone to the Dogs, but they're having a lot of fun here. We're back in a moment.
Get next year's cars, trucks, and sport utilities at last year's prices. Only at Field Auto City. Like this brand new 2003 full-size GMC Sierra. Now $199 a month. Or pay absolutely positively $0 down and only $249 a month. 2003 Pontiac Sunfires with automatic, sunroof, and CD player. Unbelievably $169 a month. Savings up to $9 grand off the certified factory sticker on 2003 GMC Envoys, Yukons, and Denali. Next year's models, last year's prices, this year's finance rates. Only at Field Auto City, Alexandria.
This telecast of the USL on Fox is being brought to you by USLsoccer.com. Visit USL's website for up-to-the-minute league info. Ucrop Supermarkets, your hometown grocer for over 65 years. Arby's, what are you eating today? RichmondKickers.com. Visit RichmondKickers.com for all your soccer needs. Umbro, always soccer since 1924. The Tidewater area of Virginia, that's where we are for our USL on Fox Sports World A-League offering tonight from Virginia Beach. The Virginia Beach Mariners on top of the Richmond Kickers 2-1. Take a look at some headlines. Alante FC of Mexico going to play some exhibitions in the Southeast, starting with Charleston Battery on July 15th. Also take on Atlanta and Charlotte. Also a couple of changes in the coaching ranks. The El Paso Patriots, Fernando Gutierrez stepping down. Also with the Indiana Blast, Jimmy McDonald stepping down. Pardon me. From the USL Pro Select League, how about this? Long Island Rough Riders had not lost since last July, suffered a loss last week to the New Hampshire Phantoms. The final was 2-1. The PDL Menace able to beat Morelia, a team from Mexico, the reserve team, 3-0. So a big victory there for the Des Moines Menace. How about this out of the W League? Ruud van Nistelrooy, yes, that Ruud van Nistelrooy from Manchester United. He paid a visit to Asheville and actually trained for about 3 hours with the Asheville Splash of the W League. Don't forget the Y League finals, Super Y League finals are coming up in Cleveland. They will be August 1st through the 3rd. Again, that's the under-19 finals. All other age groups in Rockford, Illinois. That's August 20th to the 24th. Pardon me. That from the Super Y League. So indeed, lots going on around United Soccer Leagues. As we take a look at the standings, and indeed you'll see the race is very competitive. Current A-League standings in the Northeast Division. as always, very tight and a traditional battle between Montreal and Rochester, but also Syracuse very much in the fray in their first year of the Salty Dogs. Now, we told you about, of course, the Southeast Division. Charleston Battery on top. But again, this is why this match is so important tonight between Richmond and Virginia Beach. Continuing with the A-League standings. Central Division, the Minnesota Thunder on top, just barely, though, on top of the El Paso Patriots. And finishing up in the A-League from the Pacific Division, Seattle, but again, not much breathing room, only on top of the Vancouver Whitecaps by 4 points. More coming from Virginia Beach. The Virginia Beach Mariners on top of the Richmond Kickers, 2-1. Back at Virginia Beach Sportsplex. Yes, the Virginia Beach Mariners on top of the Richmond Kickers, 2-1. And it all started with the Richmond Kickers.
Well, brilliant individual effort by Kevin Jeffrey, who gets the ball wide, dummies the ball through, then gets the pass back. Tremendous effort, gets inside Dan Buskey. Kevin Knott comes over. Jeffrey beats him, but instead of going straight for the goal, lays it back for Craig Simmons for a put away to put the visitors up front early.
But Virginia Beach would come back, and this actually started as a cross.
Great effort by Mahoney to keep his balance, lay it back to Hutchinson, who's actually probably crossing this ball, freezes Pascal at the near post, and the ball goes in to tie the score.
And then Virginia Beach, highest scoring team in the A-League, they showed why.
And once again, it's Hutchinson being involved. He comes down the flank, he's getting forward a lot this half. He crosses this ball. Dante Washington, clever veteran he is, creates space from the defense and powers the ball on a header to the far post to put the home team in front.
All right, Steve Taylor ready to start off the second half of this very important Southeast Division matchup in the A-League as he's standing next to Roy Lassiter. Again, strong pedigree from Roy Lassiter, all-time leading scorer in Major League Soccer history, all-time leading goal scorer. And against the, standing next to a former Major League Soccer star as well, and Dante Washington. Billick setting it upfield. Fenger gets a quick header on it as the Mariners come on the attack. This portion of the match brought to you by USLsoccer.com. Billick now as Virginia Beach wasting no time. Aguilera. Aguilera now will reload. This is Kevin Knott. At the back, Bobo heads it away. And now Tony Williams to Chris Fox for the Richmond Kickers. Again, we are in Virginia Beach, Virginia. They're a U.S. naval station as Fox comes forward for Richmond. So we've been hearing fighter jets from time to time fly over. Aguilera to Lassiter. We've got a player down off the ball, and a free kick is awarded to Virginia Beach.
It's Dante Washington who's down, and I was very interested to see how Richmond would come out at the start of the second half. I thought that possibly Lee Kalishaw would make a change and no longer keep Bobo strictly on Washington, so he'd get that extra player in the midfield, but he is not. Bobo is staying with Washington to see if he can shut him down man-to-man. I think it's a great tactic, but can anybody stay with Dante Washington 1v1? That's the question.
Aguilera now. Serving into the box, getting ahead on it was Fenger, but now Tony Williams a header for Richmond. Again, Richmond in the red, Virginia Beach in the white. 2-1, Virginia Beach on top. Virginia Beach trailing Richmond by a point in the Southeast Division standings. Little flick there by Aguilera. Dante Washington, Lassiter. Now back to Billick, the steadying force we talked about, the defensive midfielder.
He's having an outstanding game. He's hardly made a mistake.
Fenger trying to run in with Chris Fox, the defender for the Richmond Kickers. Fenger gets it in the corner, the battle, and a goal kick is awarded. As that went off Fenger, so Fox winning that battle.
Well, he did, and very close to a foul that time. Chris Fox, a very aggressive player, comes in, battles very, very hard with Fenger, and I think he got away with one that time. I really think he did. It could have easily created a restart.
Now Greg Simmons, again the goal scorer for Richmond, coming forward. Simmons to Kevin Jeffrey. Jeffrey now dancing through the box, gets a right foot on it. Oh, does he have some individual skill?
Well, this may be the reason why Lee Kalishaw is sticking with a plan he has. He feels he can get enough attack from Kevin Jeffrey, and he's certainly gotten a lot from Jeffrey thus far.
Now, again, we talk about this being a hot, steamy night as we look at Kevin Jeffrey. Lee Kalishaw, Richmond's coach, does have a bench to go to, including Rob Ukrop, a veteran who he says is playing some of his best soccer at the age of 33. Paul Lekix, who's also a very talented and potentially explosive player. Fenger.
Paul Lekix warming up on the sideline, very aggressive defensive style player in the midfield, and also Mike Burke getting ready to possibly go in the match.
Mike Burke very good on set pieces for Richmond. David Testo, oh, that's a good ball. Greg Simmons, but Larson had it read. Make no mistake, Larson has to come out. Richmond, perhaps arguing too far out. That was a great ball by David Testo, though.
Tremendous ball. When Testo has that ball, his left foot, he can do a lot of good things with it. Former North Carolina star.
Chris Fox now for Jeffrey. Mahoney has really been on Jeffrey all night, and it's going to be a free kick, Richard, just outside the box for Richmond.
This is a real break here for Richmond to get a restart from this dangerous position as Larson sets his defense. Little nudge by Mahoney, throws Jeffrey off stride. I don't know, I think I'd have let that one go if I were the referee. But thank goodness I'm not the referee.
You're not, and Richmond now has a free kick from a very dangerous position. David Testo and Kevin Jeffrey standing over it. Testo, number 23.
For a left-footed boot by Testo.
Exactly that. Oh, David Testo, it's in the net. It's in the net. Goal, Richmond.
We looked for a left-footed shot by Testo, and we got it, and Lee Kalishaw got the result he wanted. Joe Larson a little bit slow reacting to that ball, maybe not having confidence in his wall. And David Testo, you put that ball on his left foot, good things happen. Brilliant low shot. Billick charges, but the displacement by Jeffrey enables Testo to get a good chance, and he makes the most of it.
Wow, what a match we have tonight. Tied at 2. Now Dante Washington storming forward. Washington now puts it across the 6. Oh! It's not often that Roy Lassiter is just a stride short. He was that time.
And it took about 5 seconds to almost make another goal created by Washington. He has shown incredible resolve, incredible determination. The good players rise to the challenge. He's being marked by Bobo, and he's determined not to let his team go down. Tremendous individual effort, and Lassiter coming so close to getting that ball at the far post.
We just saw Sean McDonald, the head coach of Virginia Beach, knowing that 2-1 lead was not going to be enough against this Richmond Kickers team. He said Virginia Beach actually had 3 straight shutout games. Not tonight. Tony Williams, oh boy. Kevin Knott, he didn't say that. Kevin Jeffrey was getting onto it. Jeffrey is onto it now. Tucks the ball inside left foot. And was not going to be able to sneak it in near post. There'll be a goal kick coming up for Virginia Beach.
I wondered a little bit about the decision to start Kevin Jeffrey because he's been so effective coming off the bench with his speed, but he seems able to maintain it. There's no letdown in the caliber of his play at the start of the second half.
Billick now from his defensive midfielder position. Billick running forward. He's got Fenger with a lot of space on the left side. Fenger now trying to serve it in the middle. But Luzek had that red. Fox now. Simmons had to get back on side. He did. It's a foot race. Simmons gets there first. Larson comes out. Simmons is not going to get the call. And it will be a goal kick coming up. But Simmons did very well as a forward to stay on side before getting onto that ball.
He did really well to stay on side, but his first touch lets him down. A little bit too far out in front of him. Larson gets to this ball. And even though he doesn't hold it cleanly, there should not have been a foul. Excellent work by Steve Taylor covering that one. Unfortunate for Simmons, his first touch was just a little bit too far, but he showed his great speed, and this is why, again, Lee Kalishaw and Jesse Myers could commit only 2 to the attack. Jeffrey and Simmons providing a lot of trouble for the Virginia Beach defense in the early going of the second half.
Richmond with a bright start to the second half, although a foul there on Stockton, a free kick for Virginia Beach. 2-2 our score, 52 minutes in.
Interesting tactical battle. Coaches making some adjustments as they go along in this game. the technical ability, the speed is really important, but this game may come down to fitness. It's a hot night. Which team can measure up and hold on as the game goes on and on? That'll be a critically important factor.
Kevin Knott trying to battle through. Fox wins it back for Richmond. Now Billick for the Virginia Beach Mariners. Billick sprays it wide to Fenger. Fenger challenged by Tony Williams. Russell stuffs it out. Billick now, dangerous ball. Cleared to the back by Matt Bobo. And now Fox on it for the Richmond Kickers. Simmons chest traps it. Does well to control it. Gets it to Jason Russell. Simmons kept it in. It's going to be tough for Jeffrey to control, though. And he draws the foul instead. Is riding him with Steve Dambuski, who was featured at halftime.
Steve Dambuski, very, very intelligent, tenacious defender. He's not the most powerful guy, not the fastest guy, always in the right place. But Jeffrey is just so unpredictable. That's why he can get calls like that. He just doesn't do the same thing twice. He's so creative. Just having a real good run of play today.
So now the free kick to Kevin Jeffrey. And you're looking at the A-League Player of the Week. This one ricochets to Tony Williams. Coming through Jeffrey. Mahoney pokes it away at the 6. Fox now, Jeffrey onside. Jeffrey now drives it, and pinballs into the 6. Cleared out, and a throw-in coming up.
Another dangerous attack by Jeffrey. It's just wide open, and as much as Richmond is concerned about Dante Washington, Virginia Beach has to start to show some concern about Jeffrey. He's having a field day.
That time, Joe Larson comes up with it as Jeffrey again crosses it. This time right down the middle. Battling for it is Dante Washington. Matt Bobo with him. And again, that's been Matt Bobo's assignment. So the game within the game has been that Matt Bobo-Dante Washington matchup tonight.
That has been a tremendous matchup. That time Washington tried to chest the ball over Bobo. If he'd been able to do that, it would have been extraordinary.
Aguilera on the ball now for Virginia Beach. Amisi Amadi Dove. Aguilera. Wide now to Fenger. Billick. Billick.